Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and I am getting my computer closer to me here so that we can get this going. I got back in from Las Vegas last night, and I was able to get here in time to negotiate with my 7-year-old on the candy thing. What I did is I just bribed him. When I was in Las Vegas, he made me promise that I would get him a signed baseball by someone on the Braves. He wrote down a list of the names on the Braves, but the only Braves player that they had a signed ball for was Freddie Freeman. And that's what his brother, maybe 3 or 4 years ago, I was in Vegas and went to the same store and got his brother a signed Freddie Freeman ball. And so for him to get Freddie Freeman and be able to put in his 13-year-old brother's face that he's got one too now is a real big deal, because as you know, with children, everything is a fight and everything is a competition, hence sibling rivalry. And so he now officially has a Freddie Freeman signed ball. And because I gave him the ball, he was gladly willing to share his candy with me last night. So, all is right in the world here. Okay, and I'm tired. I'm already making my list of things that I have to do to get ready for the swell event. I have to go to the cleaners. I have to line up my transportation. I'm actually even going to get some note cards so that while I'm on the plane, we can put together some of these questions. If by some crazy chance someone worthy of speaking to us wants me to ask them some interesting questions. And also, I've got to go pick up some of my clothes that I got. And then after that, I have to, this is embarrassing to admit, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay out the different outfits that that I'm going to wear at Swell. I am so bad at knowing what the right thing to wear is that my wife, and this is, we're a team. My wife, I have to lay out different coat and shirt and pants combinations and let her tell me that those look good together, and I'm going to take a picture of them so that when I'm in Singapore, I can actually look like a normal human being instead of looking like some guy that doesn't know how to dress up, which is what I really probably am. Okay, so here we go. I've gone and collected, and for any of you who have been sending me information the last few days that I've missed or anything like that, it's just that we've been so busy. Well, we went out to Las Vegas for a lot of reasons, but one of them was because I wanted to have my eyes open to what is going on. What is going on is I've kind of described to you already, so I'm going to get back to the news and XRP and all this at least for the next day or 2 or 3 till we get on the plane to go to Singapore. And both myself and Mr. B are going to make a concerted effort to tweet and to do things along the way so that you can be involved on the journey. Okay, Bond Crypt, AFP JPM survey. Why Ripple's XRP is perfectly positioned to take over 80% of Swift's cross-border payments market share. Ripple's ODL product takes 3 seconds to settle transactions, offers 40 to 60% cost savings, and is available 24/7, 365. Now, this was an article. The article is more or less coming from this Ripple tweet right here. What factors are considered when choosing a cross-border payment method? The latest AFP online electronic payment survey report breaks it down. And if you pull this up, The most important things are speed of payment, transaction costs, certainty of payment, risk of fraud, currency risk, contract requirements, da 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 da. But the top three you see, you'll never guess who solves all those problems better than anyone else. That would be Ripple and the use of the greatest digital asset ever created, XRP. So the writing's on the wall. Now, in Von Cripp's tweet, he said 80%. That 80%, imagine taking 80% of Swift. If 80% of Swift's business is taken over by Ripple and XRP is anywhere in that equation, my friends, I may broadcast from a G5 in that scenario. I don't know. If that happens, for all of you listening to my voice are probably going to be in a very nice spot. And we'll be looking out at the ocean somewhere, and then we'll say, hey, why don't we just go to our mountain place? I'm tired of looking at the ocean. That's the kind of world I think we'll live in at that point. So anyway, 80%, who knows? But all, 5, 10, 25%. Come on. I'll take it. J.R. Ewing 1_XRP. By the way, I have a picture. One day I'll show it to you. There's a picture of me as a much younger man standing right there. And for those of you that are Dallas fans, J.R. Ewing, there's a scene in one Dallas episode where J.R. Ewing is standing there. The episode ends with J.R. Ewing standing there, and I think he's holding a bourbon and branch, looking down at the pool, and there's a body floating face down in the pool. So it's a famous, this whole area back here is very famous. He was also a jerk to Sue Ellen over here by the pool many, many times. So anyway, and a jerk to a lot more people. Now, to the Bitcoin train wreck. This, I wish I had seen this. I would have gladly stood on the sidelines and watched all of this unfold at World CryptoCon. But I was in this room here. I'm not going to play this video. You can go and watch the video because there's a lot of language. Apparently, this guy, who I don't know, this is his screen name here. Apparently, it's disappeared. Apparently, this guy is according to this guy, is a major Bitcoin scammer and has put himself out as one of the founders of Bitcoin and written books on it and goes around trying to scam people, according to this guy, not according to me. I don't know anything about the guy. He is literally screaming at how this guy's a scammer and getting it on video and doing the whole thing, just like the kind of thing we saw a week or two ago where, what's his face? I'm drawing a blank on his name, but the YouTube influencer, Tone Vase, was calling out Craig Wright on stage, and then all these people started yelling and all. Well, I don't think I would be doing anybody listening to me a service if I did not show you the train wreck as it happens. This is the train wreck. If you want to go see it, go to @Kenneth Bosack, who I don't subscribe to. I do. Anybody putting out this kind of content, I have to subscribe to because I like to watch these kind of train wrecks unfold in video, crypto, Twitter, or YouTube, whatever. So that was pretty funny. I wasn't there for it. Now, another thing from NBK Crypto. China says Bitcoin is wasteful. Now it wants to ban mining. China is home to more cryptocurrency mining operations than any other country. Now the government wants to eliminate them. Who knows if this is true? Anytime you see things coming out of China like this, you don't know if it's a manipulation thing or whatever. But the point is that if anywhere has too much of the mining, it needs to change. If you're a Bitcoiner out there, you need that to be spread out. You don't want it all in China. And I know that setting up, Bitmain announced they were setting up in Texas. I know it has to be something that they're all worried about. But in any event, enough on that. Okay, Michael at BAL5 Links. SBI Securities trading revenue surged 19.2% in 2019, largely due to the inclusion of the company's crypto investment wing, which turned a $7.1 million loss into a $30 million profit year over year. And meanwhile, remember, when you're seeing this, if this is how well SBI Securities is doing, and we still are not seeing in the United States and around the world SBI figures for XRP, the being plugged into like CoinMarketCap and all these sites that we use to look at what we think is the price. None of it's being calculated yet. Price discovery has not arrived in this industry yet, folks. Not real price discovery. I believe that it's being worked on by people like NASDAQ and some of the powers that be. And I believe one day you will see it. And I believe when we do see it, I believe a lot of us, including myself, will be blown away. XRP crypto wolf Christine Lagarde is officially the new European Central Bank president as of today. She will have an 8-year term of office. Within these next 8 years, Lagarde will introduce the first European Central Bank digital currency, CBDC, and it will use XRP as a bridge asset. I fully believe that. There's not a part of me that doubts that. Now, from King Solomon at XRP_Al, the Association of German Banks, which includes Deutsche Bank, Credit Suisse, Commerzbank, and more than 200 other institutions, are pushing for a common European payments platform and a digital version of the euro. Think Christine Lagarde, think Mark Carney, all of the think IMF, think Bank of England, think why have all these people been in the same room with Brad Garlinghouse or on the same stage? Think about the time Brad Garlinghouse was on the stage with the IMF guy, Ross Lecklow, and someone asked if they're going to be using digital assets, and Brad Garlinghouse has the Joker smile on his face and said neither one of them wants to answer it. And then he asks if, well, I can answer it, and then gives, kind of diverts a little bit. Brad Garlinghouse looked awfully giddy on that stage is all I'm saying. Okay. And next, XRP Crypto Wolf. Moneygram International reports third quarter 2019 financial results. Third quarter is the transformation of Moneygram as we increase focus on our customer experience. Cross-border digital growth and innovation through our partnerships with Ripple. Okay. Now, I had heard some whispers of people being disappointed with Moneygram, and then I saw this, which I thought was a smart way to put this. Eric Dadoon, I think I'm saying that right. Q3 MGI report is out, and shockers, some are disappointed. Years of issues take more than 1 quarter to reverse. On-demand liquidity only used in 1 quarter. Not at scale yet. Goal was to prove XRP ODL thesis. Its potential. Major impact will come at scale. MGI CEO speaking at Swell by Ripple. The other thing I want to remind you of, if you don't remember, that goes kind of along with what he's saying. It's only used in 1 quarter. Do you remember the phone? I can't remember if it was a phone call. No, I think Brad Garlinghouse was talking somewhere, and he said that the Moneygram CEO had called him. Somebody said, if he did or somebody else did, that Moneygram CEO had called him and was like actually trying to push him along, saying we need to open up more quarters. I believe that's how I remember it. And so, yeah, I'm sure that he wants this to turn around faster, but nothing happens that fast, And so that's that. Then XRP Crypto Wolf, who is the man on fire this morning, Ripple's global head of infrastructure innovation, Dilip Rao, who, if I get to the chance to meet Dilip Rao, I'm sure he is going to come up to me and say, "You idiot! My name is not. You do not call me Dilip Rao. Call me." However he pronounces it. I'm worried that while I'm there, that many people are going to come up and laugh and say, "You've been calling me this for so long." I'm going to say, "Look, I'm from South Georgia, and the official language snob may not even be able to correctly pronounce your name. A name is more difficult than other words in the English language that are where we can go and use the Google thing, and it can tell us. But Dilip Rao, Google might get wrong." So anyway, offers a regulatory framework to guide central banks in the selection of digital token attributes to solve for domestic financial inclusion with special focus on economies challenged by poor banking infrastructures. So this guy is, I mean, two of my favorite guys that are out around the world working for Ripple is this guy and Naveen Gupta. In fact, I would love to get a picture with Naveen Gupta because he's the guy that's ultra bullish that says he's going to put a dent in the universe. And I would love to tweet out a picture of me and Naveen Gupta and say that we both agree that we're here to put a dent in the universe. That would be a funny picture. Anywho, next, this was from Mr. B at XRP Mister. He tweeted this out last night. We were talking about this. I said, yeah, tweet it out, but make sure that that you tell everybody I was having a margarita. I ate. There was this Mexican restaurant in the Cosmopolitan where the conference was, and I ate with Mr. B and Cryptopolis in the first. In fact, the first time I met both of them, I sat down with them at this Mexican restaurant, and I said, well, you know, I have to have a margarita, don't you? Because you've heard me talk about this, and then we actually tried the cheese dip, and their cheese dip was not the kind of cheese dip I'm used to, which is more like more liquid versus what theirs was like a hard cheese dip. I said, that's not really my style. So we didn't get cheese dip the second time, but we did get it the first time. But the second time we went to the restaurant, this really happened. While Digital Asset Investor was having a margarita in his Mexican restaurant, in this Mexican restaurant, I noticed this cool mask on the wall. And if you look closely, you can see DAI's arm too. Well, yes, he's right. You can see my arm. But this is a true story. That is Charlie Shrem. And yes, that's the famous Charlie Shrem, the one that went to prison, the one that was involved with, I guess, what was it, Silk Road? I don't even remember the full story. But he's probably one of the original people, the original famous people in this entire Bitcoin thing and digital asset thing. That is probably one of the first characters there, and he was literally sitting right behind us. I did not turn around to bother the guy in this particular case, but I met a lot of other people, but we didn't turn around and try to bother the guy. But it was an interesting thing. Okay, and next, I mentioned yesterday the Justin Bieber thing. Apparently, this is what I've pieced together. People told me. This is from XRP Veteran. Justin Bieber, I am using my platform to help people, runs on Ripple. And so Justin Bieber had put on his Instagram page, I believe, this video. And it's a video of Justin Bieber running all over the world and all this. And then, let me see if this is the part. It looks like this, but you see the Ripple logo. You see it says runs on Ripple at some point. It's very obvious there's something to it. So this is what's got everybody saying that this guy is going to possibly be at Swell singing or whatever. I don't know if that's the case, but anyway, but what the tie-in I will give you, I can't remember if I gave it to you already. Remember, Scooter Braun is working with Spring. Scooter Braun is Justin Bieber's, runs the talent, I think the talent agency that manages Justin Bieber. So there is a link there, no question about it. So don't be surprised at all if you start seeing people, some of Scooter Braun's talent somehow, some way get involved with Ripple. Okay, got this. This is classic right here. This is funny right here. Got this from the official neighbor of the Digital Asset Investor channel. You'll see it right here. And I like to remind everybody every once in a while, any of you out there that want titles, and especially if I'm traveling for some reason, like when I was in Vegas, I get behind on a lot of emails, a lot of tweets, a lot of things when I'm doing that. And I did this week. So if you sent something important that I need to see, send it. If you were asking me for a title, send it to me. But if you do get a title, put it right here. That's the way to go. Then I can always call you out. It's easy. It makes it easy for me. But look what the official neighbor of the Digital Asset Investor channel sent me. This was a Jungle Inc. tweet from last night. Now, let me give you my disclaimer. I have a lot of people that are telling me this is from Ripple. This is actually whoever's doing the escrow at Ripple. Now, for the purposes of me handing out a title today, that is completely irrelevant. Whoever did this, it's hilarious, and it reminded me to do something that I haven't done and I need to do. But Jungle Inc. said, "Hey, digital asset investor, you see the latest 1 billion escrow release. Apparently, it's the official escrow release of digital asset investor." And everybody I've talked to so far, now some people out there may think that this is not the actual escrow, some kind of joke. Maybe it is, who knows? That's irrelevant because the fact that it was done means everything. What they did is they initiated in the initiated by section. They said abbreviation official escrower of the digital asset investor. So, and the escrow amount 1 billion XRP. Okay, which is correct. Now down here they gave a shout out to Jungle Inc. The revolution will be televised. So, and it says bit hum down here, da da da. But anyway, I really hope it's true because that would make my year to think that the people at Ripple think that my whole title thing's funny, that's what it's all about. I'm trying to have fun with all this. And so anyway, because they did this, even if they didn't do it, whoever did do it, because you did this, I am now going to officially make Ripple's escrow the official escrow of the digital asset investor channel. It should have been done a long time ago. And the reason it needs to be the official escrow of the digital asset investor channel is because this has all been a very big controversy. This has been a big core part of all of this. And the people that are short-sighted or the people that are self-centered and they're looking at their short-term trading and they're focused on that and they're not looking at the big picture of what Ripple is doing and the tracks that Ripple is laying. This needs to be this needs to have an official title, and I'm going to show you why. When I think of Ripple Escrow, which is now the official escrow of the digital asset investor channel, when I look at Ripple Escrow, it always reminds me of this blog by Hooter. I've brought this up 2 or 3 times, and I'm going to bring it up again. When I think of the escrow and I think of the Ripple sales over the counter behind the scenes, this is what I think of. Hodor had laid out the Ripple, this ecosystem. And what I think of when I think of the Ripple, the escrow and their selling of XRP over the counter to institutions and financial institutions and to others and using some of the proceeds to build this ecosystem the way I see it is that they are building and they're laying the tracks for my family's financial future because I'm a believer through and through. And I see them creating a university blockchain initiative. I see them creating more or less an incubator for current and future companies. It could be hundreds, if not thousands of companies that are using XRP to create new use cases. What I see is them using that escrow to be able to set up a Washington, D.C. office and have some of the most connected and some of the smartest regulators and past regulators and people that know people in Congress and in the SEC to help build this XRP ecosystem. What I see is Ripple using it to fund the marketing of what's going on and the marketing of this ecosystem that's being built. What I see is they're working on using it to make the XRP ledger better, to spread out the validators and get other people to start doing that. And cut the business deals and be able to go into China or India or Saudi Arabia and set up those offices. It's the building of the ecosystem. Okay. What I see is it's helping to fund people like Joel Katz to go around the world and go speak to some of these college students who are our future at these universities through the University Blockchain Research Initiative. And these brilliant minds, in this case at Stanford, are the ones that are going to hatch the future use cases. What I do not see when I hear about the escrow, the XRP escrow, is people who have their own self-interests in mind, the short-term thinkers, the people who, oh, I'm a trader and I'm going to do this and this and this. These guys, that is not what I think about. So yes, today, the XRP's escrow becomes the official escrow of the digital asset investor channel. And finally, I needed to show you David Schwartz. David Schwartz put out his Halloween costume. I don't know if that's his wife or girlfriend or whatever. It's irrelevant. But the point is that David Schwartz is in the spirit of Halloween. I wonder if he stole took any Halloween candy from his kids. I don't even know if he has kids, but he was a pirate. Apparently, David Schwartz is into the pirate thing. And finally, I wanted to give a shout out. During my live stream last week, I told you all that, I told you the wrong name at first. I wanted to make sure I highlighted him. And I'm going to continue to highlight this guy because he did something that is going to change the world. Now that the Digital Asset Investor channel has the official has named the official escrow of the Digital Asset Investor channel, it just makes sense that we will now go to Swell and give t-shirts to Chris Larson, Brad Garlinghouse, and David Schwartz, making them the official CTO, CEO, and chairman of the Digital Asset Investor channel. And Salvo Leon deserves to have people learn about his quality work at he's crypto-stickers.com. He's got all sorts of merchandise. This is a shirt that he has just made. Let's go take a look at it. And he sent me those 3 shirts, by the way, for free so that I could bring them to these guys. And so now he's got this is a Ripple protocol shirt, XRP digital asset consensus algorithm. So you can go and get all sorts of things from them. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe and hit the like button and tell your friends and family that the digital asset investor has officially named the XRP escrow, the official escrow of the digital asset investor channel. Thank you for listening.